Regardless of the size of the operation, stress can be your worst enemy and quickly derails events, service periods, and everyday work within the operation. It's a constant threat to our peace in culinary leadership. Now in this video, let's dive into 5 simple shifts that I use to reduce stress. Now before I get into that, who am I? My name is Gerald Ford, and I've been in the culinary world for nearly 30 years. I started cooking at 14, inspired by the power to unite people and nourish family. My journey has taken me from Michelin-starred kitchens and private chef roles to prestigious hotels, clubs, casinos, and even small 25-seat restaurants. I started working at a local golf course bar and grill, washing pots and pans. Through all these experiences, I've seen what makes an operation successful, but I've also lived the challenges of figuring it out as a leader. When I first stepped into executive culinary leadership, I was overwhelmed by the demands and figuring it out, managing the kitchen, the team, and the administration. Cooking quickly became a small part of my role as I constantly reacted to crises and increasingly lost sight of the bigger picture. It wasn't until I seriously dove into leadership and embraced the power of systems and structures that things actually started to change for me. I realized I needed to stop working just in the kitchen and start working on it, using and defining clear processes, effectively delegating and narrowing my focus to what mattered most. In doing that, I was able to build teams that could execute my vision even in my absence. This shift transformed how I managed, allowing me to thrive rather than just survive. Those disciplines helped me to compete at the highest levels, including the Bocuse d'Or selection and captaining the U.S. Culinary Olympic team in 2020. The key is that success in the kitchen isn't just about talent in the food, it's about the structure, process, and scalable leadership. For the past 5 years, I've been using this structure to help other chefs who, like me, strive for excellence but feel stuck in the daily grind. That's why I created the program Beyond the Food, so I can fully support chefs in managing the overwhelming demands of leadership and help them build systems that allow them to thrive. If you're searching for a system to master your resources, align your team with your vision, and package your expertise, then this is precisely what I do with chefs like you every day. Schedule a call by clicking the link below the video so I can support you. Now, let's get into stress reduction. Biggest lesson that I've learned is that stress isn't about the problem. More often than not, it's about how we think about the problem. Most of the stress that we feel comes from fear of failure, judgment, or mistake. Now, the first shift is to separate emotion, also known as the reaction that we have, from the actual issue, and focus on the core problem. It's usually just 20% of what's actually stressing us. So it's critical to break the stressor down to that main cause of the problem and treat the problem almost as a matter of fact. Solve it, trying to remain calm, and then make notes to dig deeper into the causes later without looking for the root right at that moment. Next, remember that stress comes from uncertainty. A major short circuit to that stress is organization and structure. The more organized I am, the more I find things when I'm looking for them. And the fewer variables, here surprises, I have to worry about. And also, the more of a routine I have with my prep lists, recipes, and setup processes, the more I can see problems and remove the uncertainty that leads to that fear that causes stress. Those routines also help when things get busiest, and when followed, they remind me exactly of what to do, when to do it, when I lose myself in whatever's going on. Shift number 3, a quick and simple short circuit to stress is through breathing, like the simple, normal human act of taking a breath. For example, when the wheels start to fall off and everything's going wrong, step aside for a moment and pause. Or I even go wash my hands for 20 seconds and take deep breaths in order to reset. But specifically, I like to do a counted breathing technique. And I know this sounds basic and it's really fundamental, but I'll tell you what, it makes a big difference before I do something that I can't repair with my staff, with my team, or in my operation. And so I like to do what I call 5-5-10 breathing. And it's really a simple counted breathing process. Take a breath in for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then breathe out over a count of 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you do that twice, I promise you, you're going to feel calmer and more in control almost instantly. Breathing exercises like this can lower your heart rate, clear your mind, and help you focus. It's a game changer, and it's a great thing to remember because you don't need special equipment, you don't need anything other than you and a moment to stop and think. Now finally, I find stress hits hardest when I'm the most unprepared. And that's why I always default to practice. Practice, practice, practice. I've learned that the more that I train my body and my mind, the better I perform when the heat is on. In short, stress resistance is trained. Practice builds that confidence. So I like to break big projects into smaller tasks and practice those smaller tasks. Now it's easier to manage those smaller pieces and it keeps those stresses at bay. And now the more that we do under stress, the less the pressure has an impact, and that helps us build a tolerance. I know it builds a tolerance with me. I like to do this by competing against myself, using a timer, setting goals and working towards them, measuring myself against something that keeps me under pressure, even working in front of a mentor and getting feedback on executing an event. All of those things help me perform at a higher level when the stakes are higher. So remember, preparation builds confidence, and confidence is a huge reducer of stress. Not arrogance, but confidence and knowing what needs to be done because you've practiced it. Now, at the end of the day, managers live in a glass house, and we lead by example. Whether we're paying attention to that example we are setting or not, people see it and they're always watching. So think about the ripples of showing how you deal with stress and how that sets the tone for the team. Now, and if we lose control under stress, the team is going to as well. And I know when I stay calm and collected, the team's going to follow my lead. As chefs, stress will always be a part of what we do, but it doesn't have to control us. By understanding how stress works, staying organized, breathing through intense moments, practicing under pressure, and leading by example, we reduce the impact that stress has on us, our teams, and our families. The kitchen thrives not just on talent and food, but on the systems and leadership that guide it. Remember, as a leader, how we manage stress sets the tone for the entire team. The tools that I've shared today are simple, but powerful ways to take back control in the face of chaos. If you're ready to go beyond just managing stress and want to build a scalable, thriving operation, then I'd love to work together. Click the link below the video to schedule a call with me and take the first step towards mastering your resources, aligning your team, and packaging your expertise. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on leading in the kitchen. And I'll see you in the next video.